Okay, back with the second video. My name is Paul. This is my Align T-Rex 550L Dominator helicopter. These are the servos, or at least two of the servos. One is the tail, the BL9288 is the torque BL series servos. This is the BL9180 outrage torque servos, whatever. Really expensive servos, beautiful silver, anodized red aluminum with these ugly brown, orange, and yellow wires. Well, we can do something about that. I have this PET braided sleeving. A few simple tools. We need a lighter to melt the heat shrink. I have right here. Got some red and black. I think I'm gonna go with black. May as well. I don't know. Let's see. There's a lot of black, not a lot of red. Although we won't really see the heat shrink. You'll see a little bit of the braided sleeving, but I think we'll just go with black, keep it simple. So there's a few different ways to do this. Now, one of the ways I see people adding this heat shrink, oh, well, that'll just slip right over there. Okay, well, we're not gonna have to stretch it at all. All right, well, that works perfectly. So what I wanna do first is get this sleeving, gonna de-stress your servo lead. So just nice and flat, get out the kinks and the curves and the bends and all that, and get your length sorted. It doesn't stretch, so you don't have to worry about that, but you want to make sure you have the full length of it. All right, get your sleeving up to it. Doesn't have to be exact, just get it pretty close. You want it pretty much the exact length. If you do it too little, it'll want to pull away out of the shrink wrap. If you do it too long, that's not too bad, because it makes it a little bit easier to route around. But if you do it too long, it'll tend to scrunch the braid where you can see through the wires a little bit more. So you want it just the right length so it's relaxed and it's not pulled or stretched in any direction. Okay, so get the length all the way up to the edge of the grommet on the servo, all the way up to the edge of the connector at the end of the lead, and cut just a wee bit extra from there, so it is actually just a touch too long. Now, maybe not the best way to do this. I'm just going to pop it like that. All right, good. Now, what you want to do with this braided PET, let's get that out of the way. With your lighter, scrunch it all together here. Take your lighter and hit the ends real quick. Yeah, there we go. Now that it's going to hold together, it's not going to come undone. So PET, really easy to get over. Something larger, you just get the corner in there and push in. It will expand, no problem. Now, if I were taking off the connector, I would need to remember to put on the shrink wrap first if it was too small to go over the connector. But in this case, since it will fit right over the connector, this is going to be pretty simple and easy. So kind of worm its way on there, you stretch it, grab it, pull it, stretch it, grab it, pull it. All right, now that already looks the business. That looks pretty sweet. And let's see, to cut it long enough? Well, it's not quite as long as I meant to cut it, but for this purpose, that will work perfectly fine. All right, so now I need to decide how much shrink wrap to use. Now, this servo lead actually will connect to an extension. So ordinarily, this would plug into a receiver or gyro. The servo leads go right next to each other, so you wouldn't want to add anything to this. But since this is going to an extension, this will be just fine. I can go ahead and shrink wrap over part of the connector. That will give it an attachment point, a little more rigidity. I want, well, too short will come off. Too long won't hurt anything, so I'll make it a little extra long. Now, they could be different lengths on either side, but let's make it uniform. We'll make them the same length. Now, I could have cut that a little straighter, but you know, whatever. Let's make them the same length for uniformity more than anything else. Try not to cut through my table if possible. If I do, that's what happens in hobby sometimes. All right, so yeah, that slides right over there, making life easier than I thought this was going to be. And careful not to unwind any of this braid here. I don't want to deravel it. I'm not paying attention and just shoving this on there hastily. Alright, now that that's on, I'm going to get both pieces on before I shrink either one, because I don't want to wind up pulling out the sheathing here by trying to get this on there and pulling on it and tugging at it. So we'll get both pieces on first. If I can get it over, this one a little more difficult. Probably because I loosened up the braid a little bit with the first one, and now it's wanting to fray a bit. Just got to keep working at it. A little patience. A little bit by little bit. Alright, now once it's over the braiding, I can just, push it the rest of the way. I'm going to attempt to not get it all the way down off of this connector, because if I can not have to push it back over there, that would be nice. Now, since it's already a little tight, the shrink wrap over this, when I shrink it, it's really going to hold on there super tight. I'm going to get this just past where it would normally plug into connector. You can see the little ledge there, or ridge. We get it right up to that edge. That way it'll cover most of it without interfering with a connector. Alright, so let's just melt this up a bit. Well, it's a little windy out here, but yeah, that'll work. Now this shrink wrap does not have any glue in it, adhesive, but given that the shrink wrap is so close to the size of this already, it will be very tight on there, so I'm not worried about it going anywhere. And where this is, since this won't have any stress on it, this isn't going anywhere. Worst case scenario, you cut it off and put another piece on. So put a drop of CA on the inside if it needs it. So there we go, that is on there. The next one, I'm going to go right over the grommet so it can shrink up to that, hopefully. Add a little rigidity to that so that the lead isn't kinking right out here. That's why they put the grommet there in the first place. But we're going to add to that strength. So we're taking the design elements of the servo to help protect the wire and just building on that, making it even better. So form and function married together. Okay, that, let's see, let's get everything out of the way. Let's check our work, see if we're happy with the result. Alright, so one servo unsheathed, one servo sheathed. And as you can see, it's very easy to route this. It's not going to wobble around with vibration as it's flying around. This is going to be a little stiffer, be a little more durable. It won't chafe against the carbon fiber chassis, or if it does, it will cut this before it cuts the wire. One of these, I thought I saw some where it had worn into it on the chassis, but either way, that, in my opinion anyway, is much better. I'll do this for all 4 servos and any other wires with this same sheeting here, or sheathing, and that would be one step down to getting this Elan T-Rex 550L Dominator in the air. Bye.